Hi, this is Carrie Cassidy, Project Camelot, Whistleblower Radio, and my guest today is George Kavassilas. George, are you there?
Yes, I am, Carrie. How are you going?
Well, it's completely bizarre here. I am in South Africa. I'm doing this off of my cell phone using Skype, so it's quite a revolutionary technology, I think you might say, long distance here. And hopefully this will continue to work. I have no idea whether this is going to cost me a fortune or not, so we'll just have to see. But at any rate, I'm being helped out by the Malaga Hotel, who's being very helpful over here. But unfortunately, our dial-up connection is just not sufficient for me to do the show, and they also don't have Skype here. So, but at any rate, so George, now that we're live, and you're in Australia, and I'm in South Africa, and we're basically going out over the internet worldwide, as well as in the United States, I believe, on people's, at least in the Texas area, I think they can actually get me in on the car radio. So, as well as some other satellite connections and so on.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, well, that's the era we're living in, although it doesn't always work out as well as one would like. So what's going on with you, George? It's lovely to have you on my show.
Yeah, I very much appreciate the opportunity once again, Kerry. It's life's travelling very fast. Things are developing very quickly right now, and incredible amount of people resonating with the content of that which I share. And just came back from Spain, had a fantastic sellout tour of Spain, and incredible. People flew in from Kuwait, from Venezuela, from Greece, from Germany, from Sweden, from Slovenia. It's just incredible the way people are just feeling it deep within themselves, and it's very inspiring, I must say.
Yeah, that's great. Great to hear. What was the theme of your presentation, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, no, I don't mind at all. It was 10 hours, basically, a 10-hour day, and that was the main event. And the basic theme was really the structure of the universe. That's the first part of the discussion for the people who are not familiar with the model that I present. And I discuss about my experiences and how I came about to have this knowledge of the structure of our universe. And also I share the journey that we've undertaken wanting to actually come into this universe, and why we've all decided to have this journey, why we're actually in here inside this light-based universe, and what is our intended outcome. Well, I know what my intended outcome is, and most people seem to feel the same way about their journey. And so we share, I share about that sort of information, and also about the coming changes, because that's part of our journey and part of our intended outcome.
So what's your website for people that are listening?
The website is, you can find it either through Ascension and Beyond, or you can find it through www.georgekavassilas, and the last name is spelled Kavassilas, .org, O-R-G.
Okay, and would that be ascensionandbeyond.com?
No, I just call it that. So you might Google that and you'll come across it. But the most direct path to it is just myname.org.
Oh, I see. Okay. So I'm going to pull you up here as we speak.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will work. Okay. So you're talking about ascension, I assume.
I through all my journeys and experiences that I've had throughout my life, and all the races I've been in contact with, and all the experiences I've had with beings in other dimensional levels on this earth, and Mother Earth herself, and Father Sun, with the consciousness of the Sun, who is, the whole being that is the solar system that we're inside of. They have an intention as to what their journeys are, and we've come in here to be a part of that. So it's understanding what they want to do as beings. What does the sun want to do as a solar system, and what does the Earth want to do as a planet? And so why did we choose to come here and so have such an intimate relationship with this planet we call Mother Earth? Yeah, so
Okay.
Basically the understanding is that Mother Earth is about to ascend, and some people have a different take. There's so many different varying opinions and philosophies and points of view out there. I just recommend people to connect with Mother Earth and ask her herself what she's doing, rather than more so taking, I would say, philosophies from extraterrestrial races, because there's what we're being exposed to here, the veil. I call it, we've got the earthly veil and then we've got the cosmic veil. And we have a particular group of extraterrestrials that we are being exposed to at the moment on this planet. And what they're propagating is not really what's the real truth behind the existence of this solar system, this planet, and humanity.
Okay, and you initially were a contactee, and you had quite a few experiences with various races at that time, isn't that right?
Oh, yeah, quite a few. And I stood up in 2004 and claimed that I was a member of the Galactic Federation of Light, and everything was wonderful. And they basically assimilated me into their empire, into their structure, and used me to propagate their philosophies on the planet. Right.
And I'm not going to name any names, but I've recently had somebody else on my show who claims to be from part of the Galactic Federation, and there is a lot of confusion about these various races that people are dealing with and having all kinds of interactions with, and the groups are representing themselves and misrepresenting themselves in many ways with people, and that's a problem.
Yes, they are, Kerry, and yes, it is. It's providing a very good challenge for everybody, because there's certainly the old cliche, "Do not judge a book by its cover," is truer than ever, and it's providing an incredible environment for all of us to dig really, really deep inside of ourselves. So on one level, it's providing a wonderful service, but if we get back down into the level of the drama, we've got to be very careful. We really, really do. And they're using love against us. That's their greatest weapon. Love and apathy and passiveness. And, I call it the pacification program, which they bliss people out. They meditate, they get blissed out, and people got to realise you can smoke pot on this level of reality and take drugs and you get high. You've got to realise on a cosmic level you can take in energy and get high. So you've got to be careful what kind of energies you decide to merge with.
Absolutely, and that's very key at this time when we're entering this sort of energetic space, as well as having this galactic wave of energy, call it what you will, coming towards us, sort of more along the lines of what Paul LaViolette talks about. How do you describe the energies that are coming to the Earth at this time?
Okay, they're coming from the centre of the galaxy, because Earth and the galaxy are one and the same consciousness. All the other planets and star systems, except for Sirius, it's a stepping down of the divine feminine. So we're in the Milky Way galaxy, for starters, and we call it the Milky Way because it's the nurturing of the mother's milk. So this galaxy is a fractal of the universe, and each star system is actually a fractal of a galaxy. So every star system is a compressed galaxy, and the beings who originally came into this galaxy are ambassadors and way showers from a galactic system. And that's why our reality is so dense. First of all, we're on the densest reality on the densest planet, which is then the densest solar system, which is then the densest galaxy. And once you actually start to get an understanding of the structure, it all just makes sense. It really does. And
Okay.
So yeah.
Sorry about this. If you want to continue, and then I'll ask my question.
Yeah, that's all right. No, go ahead. Fire a question.
Okay. What I wanted to say was, obviously, you feel that you have sort of the correct information. And it's understandable that people are getting all kinds of information, as we've said, and that for one, and even when I say Galactic Federation, there are groups, some of which are calling themselves that, who may not be the same thing as as the so-called actual Galactic Federation. So that further increases the problem that we've got.
Yeah.
But but going by that name in general, and the group of beings that are part of that, and perhaps their agenda as to why they are sort of posing in a certain way, coming across as very loving, caring beings, and yet they do appear to have quite an interesting agenda, in my view, that is not necessarily in our best interests, especially when it comes to sovereignty. So I wonder if you could address that.
Yeah, okay, it comes down to there is a particular vibrational pattern that we're inside of on like a dimensional plane in the universe. And a lot of people have heard these terms 3D, 4D, 5D, etc. Now, the model that I present, where the fifth dimension starts for me, is really high up compared to a lot of other people. And so these are labels we just give vibrational realms. So when you are in, say, for me, the fourth dimension is by far the biggest in physical size. It is absolutely colossal in size. And it has to do with the vibrational patterns of the 4D. It is where we fragmented and expanded the most in our journey down through the dimensions of the universe. And so there's beings, say, if you're at the lower end of that spectrum of the fourth dimension, there's that many vibrational octaves and overtones and tones, and it's incredible the amount of vibrational realms there are just within the fourth dimensional paradigm in my model. And so what happens is you come across beings, and I'm talking about extraterrestrial races, star systems and empires, who are actually assimilated in this massive structure. And when they look up, they're actually looking at angelical hierarchies, ascended masters, and even creator gods. And they think that's it. But actually, they're still caught within the fourth dimensional paradigm. Now, how do I know this? It's because in 2003, I actually took a journey up through the dimensions of our universe with my consciousness. That's how I got to know this. And I'm lucky I have this, and I do have the luxury of this point of reference. And I understand that. And it's hard for people to take that anybody, just an average Joe Blow person walking the street, can actually have this knowledge and this point of reference. And I do understand that's really hard to take, because there's people who have been on this journey all their lives and have studied all the literature on the planet, and even they themselves have had contact with ETs. But you know what's amazing? There's people from all around the world who just say, I've always known this inside of me. And finally somebody's voicing it. So it's not just George that knows this. It's actually multitudes of people all around the planet that have this knowing inside of them already. So I'm not teaching anybody anything new. It's just sharing the way things are. And so we have these other empires and these structures that they're caught up in these paradigms. That's the problem. You've got all these ET races who are visiting the Earth at the moment, and some of them are truly doing what they believe is right. And that's the other thing, because that's how they're so convincing. They truly believe what they're doing is right, but they themselves are caught up in a limited paradigm within the universe. And that's the thing to be very careful of.